Historical Eats, Historical Eats, Historical Eats.
Hi everybody and welcome to 2025. It's our first Historical Eats of the year and it's pretty chilly here in Park City. So this episode we're going to do a bit of a soup off and make two cream of potato soup recipes from the 1890s from our dear friends Mrs. L. Hartwell and Mrs. E. M. McGinley. So both me and Dalton have a cream of potato soup recipe and we even have the same bowls to make them in. So we're going to see whose recipe is better.
Before we make the soups, just want to give a quick shout out to The Market at Park City. Thank you to The Market for sponsoring these videos and providing all of the groceries that you see here. Apologies, these recipes are actually from the 1915 cookbook. Both recipes are pretty similar. The one by Mrs. Hartwell asks for 1 good-sized potato, 1 large onion, 1 stalk of celery, which you then boil together and then mash. Then you add a lump of butter and a quart of milk, and then salt and pepper to taste. For the recipe from Mrs. McGinley, ask for 3 potatoes, which you boil and mash, and then add in a quart of milk, 2 tablespoons of butter, 2 tablespoons of flour, and a teaspoon of salt. Then you also pepper and add celery salt to taste. For this recipe, you also scald the milk first with a chunk of onion in it to give it some onion flavor. For this recipe, I also decided to blend the mixture a little bit. It asked to strain the mixture, but it was going to be too complicated with our heavy pot, and so I decided just to blend it. Mrs. Hartwell was born Mary Sanders in 1864. She later married Louis David Hartwell, and together they lived in Park City and had 5 children together. Mrs. Hartwell often hosted other women around town for different types of parties and gatherings. She was also a member of the Degree of Honor Protective Association, which originally was connected with the Ancient Order of United Workmen. Mary died in 1936. Mrs. McGinley was born Emma Dykeman in 1888. She later married Ebenezer McGinley, the proprietor of the Central Drug Company, a pharmacy in Park City, for about 30 years. Together they had 2 daughters, and they loved to travel around, eventually leaving Park City to settle in Southern California, where she died in 1981. Mrs. McGinley was also a longtime member of the Order of the Eastern Star, which is associated with the Freemasons, and she was secretary of that organization for 17 years.
Okay, everybody, we are back at the museum with our usual taste testers, Alyssa and Liza, and they're going to taste both of our soups and our soup off. These are both cream of potato soups, both from the same recipe book in the 1890s. I made one, Dalton made the other. I don't know if we're playing a guessing game on that. I think it's just going to be which one we like better. They're both. Which one? Well, yeah, you know which one. So anyway, do we want to start? Which one do we want to start with? Left or right? Left or right? Left or right?
You guys decide.
Left. I'm going to start with the left on first.
The consistencies.
Well,
the consistencies are
wildly different. Yeah.
So they were in the same recipe book?
Yeah.
They said 1 potato soup is not enough?
They were both cream of potatoes. They were on the same page.
Did you use some salt, but other than that, pretty good.
Yeah, there's more salt.
Yeah, it's like bland, but then also like really oniony.
A lot of onion. Well, this is the one that has 1 giant diced onion in it. It said 1 large onion.
Well, you got it all in there. I feel like it's
it
not.
It basically just tastes like onion water.
It's almost not starchy enough. Like it's too.
Well, it only called for 1 potato, and I actually put in 2 potatoes.
That is not enough potato.
So
that's why there's so much onion.
Well, that's what it called for.
They were wilding back there.
Shout out
Wait.
to Red Bicycle Breadworks. We've got some rolls here to go with our soup. So it is adding this to soak up some.
I don't even think I don't even think I see or taste potato.
Well, I had to mash it really fine.
I had a little chunk.
So. I can definitely taste like the starch of potato in it.
There's a little graininess that feels potatoey.
The roll doesn't help with the flavor, I would say. Alright.
On to the second one?
Yeah.
Oh, there's like one.
So,
Okay, this is like mashed potato level.
definitely a lot more seasoning.
Okay, I
That's pretty
definitely like this
I like
one
that.
more. But
I overdid it on the pepper, I will say.
ooh, that is
It is.
Ooh.
I was like, that's a lot of pepper when you poured it in.
It didn't
But I was
hit
also
me
like-
at first.
But I was like, you know what? There's nothing wrong with it.
There's nothing wrong. No, I do love a peppercorny like
Yeah,
chicken
well, yeah,
noodle
I
soup.
like pepper. It's a pepper to taste, and I like pepper. And then there was also like a lot of milk and a decent amount of potatoes in it, and I was like, this will balance out. But maybe it's still a little.
Part of me really wants to mix these
Oh
two
my god,
together.
get out of my head! I was. I'm like, what would happen if?
Let's find out.
I would feel too much like a child at lunch.
You think?
Well, if Dolphin's going for it, let's see how it
I'm
goes.
just going for it.
Although I'm trying to keep
I might
all of
create
the
the
onions
perfect consistency.
Not gonna lie, growing up in Georgia in the summer, we used to pick wild onions
Yeah.
and pretend to like me and my family would or sisters would pretend to like be like the boxcar children and live in the woods. And this right here reminds me of the wild onion water soup we used to make when we were playing in the woods.
Did you eat it?
No. Although Nikki might have, I'm not sure.
Yeah, mix them together.
Better? Better? Wild onion.
Yeah, because when you add some of the liquid in, it balances out the pepper a little bit better.
Here goes nothing.
Oh, this really takes me back to my public school roots.
Same.
I'm trying to keep too many of these onions
Okay, this is more soup texture.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
I think you guys have just stumbled onto
A discovery.
a third recipe.
Did you guys maybe misread it? And it was one recipe on the page.
2 different names, man.
Did you pull a Rachel Green? No.
I don't
Oh,
know.
actually, it's not bad mixed together.
Looks pretty good.
I
Just
don't
don't
hate
mix it.
this. I know he's gonna rip
I'll
my
go
stomach
so far as to say I like it.
Well, it's
Both of
better,
them
right?
separately were like, but together we've stumbled upon
Yeah.
an
Actually,
1890s cream potato discovery.
I didn't mind the thick texture of the one I did. I just wish I put a little less pepper.
I didn't mind it, but it wasn't soup texture.
Here. It was gruel.
Yeah, it was almost mashed potatoes for sure.
I don't hate this.
So, yours actually had ingredients to like thicken it up though, like flour and
Yeah, mine like, actually said like add stuff to make it thick.
mine was just like mash the potatoes, strain the potatoes, milk, butter, salt, pepper. Done. Don't forget the onion.
I love how unspecific
Oh,
these recipes are.
They always are.
I would say by itself, the one I did was just like way better. Like if we mix them together. Do you remember which person it was by? It was the one on the bottom of the page.
Yours was by Mrs. McGinley.
McGinley?
Mine was by Miss Hartwell.
Okay, so Mrs. McGinley, better job.
Who's the
Yeah. And so I say in general thumbs up, especially toward that second one. And when
It's not the worst thing you've made me eat on the show.
and I will
tried to
say
tell you that.
and I will say it was my mistake that made it too peppery, so it wasn't like the recipe. So I would say Mrs. McGinley's recipe pretty solid, and Mrs. Hartwell's left something to be desired.
Mrs. Hartwell, you have to go for some more seasoning in your life.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, literally, it was just like a little bit of salt and pepper. Mine
Mhm.
also had celery sauce in it, so
Mm.
a little bit of extra flavor there. But all right, soups are good.
Soups are good. We love soup.
What's up with these rolls? They're like really good, and also
It's our
Oh,
local
no,
Red's
bicycle.
Bicycle Breadworks from the market. So if you like these, they do sourdough. They do some like French baguettes, and they do these potato rolls, and they do some other stuff.
what are these potato rolls?
They do pizzas too, I think. So shout out to them, and thanks for tuning in to our first Historical Eats of 2025.
Historical Eats, Historical Eats, Historical Eats.